Coming up on OU Nightly, a former OU professor could spend the rest of his life behind bars. We have the details. And new developments in the mold mystery at Norman Central's public library. Plus, OKC Thunder Josh Giddey is in hotter water. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Snowforth.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. Tonight we know a former OU professor will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. OU Nightly's Mecca Thompson is live in the newsroom with the story. Mecca.
The former OU Health Sciences professor was accused of placing a camera in a young girl's bedroom. He went before an Oklahoma County judge today and admitted he did it. Tonight, the district attorney's office says the young girls he haunted can finally feel safe.
And that time requirement and the conditions the judge put in place, I don't think the victim will ever have to see him ever again.
69-year-old Alan Weichman sentenced to 25 years in prison. The former OU Health Sciences Center professor pleading guilty today to 19 counts of manufacturing child porn and lewd acts to a child under 16. Weichman was placed on administrative leave by the university in March 2021. According to a statement given to OU Nightly, the university says they ended his employment with OU Health Sciences just 2 months later, the two victims sharing their testimonies to the court. Emotions were high, but Weichman had no reaction and showed no sense of remorse for his actions. Weichman's ex-wife also sharing her story, saying, quote, "I truly hate Alan."
Of course, first and foremost, the victims of our crimes are our top priority.
Along with the prison sentence, he will be registered as a sex offender in Oklahoma. Being 69 years old and sentenced to 25 years, when doing the math, it is very likely he will die in prison. In the newsroom, Mecca Thompson, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Mecca. And there's new information tonight about the serious problem with mold inside the Norman Public Library. Tonight we know the situation is so serious, the Library Foundation Board voted to allow the Central Library to temporarily relocate. The question is, how much is all this going to cost and who's going to pay for it? OU Nightly's Kaylee Carnine is asking the tough questions, and she joins us live from the library with the latest.
Yeah, guys, last night, the Pioneer Library System's Board of Trustees met at the Newcastle Public Library discussing the fate of Norman Central. The Board of Trustees unanimously votes to close the Central Library and relocate temporarily. The board is striving to find a relocation that doesn't require any funding. This comes after black mold was discovered in the Norman Central location. Lisa Wells, the executive director of Pioneer Library System, says a pop-up location would take pressure off of Norman's other two libraries.
Well, as I said, what we're already experiencing is just really additional foot traffic at both of our locations, which is a great problem to have. But we know that Central saw so many customers, 7 days a week, and we really want to be able to provide services in that general vicinity, the same place that Central was, so a walkable location.
Wells says the library will be closed for 5 months, but currently air quality in the common areas is good. Employees are being temporarily reassigned, but Trey Carson, who represents the city of Norman on the board, says he's pleased with the way things have been handled.
The transparency of the leadership at Pioneer Library to come out to the community and give us all the details from the very beginning instills confidence.
But some Norman residents are still confused.
It's so nice too that you can tell they wanted something nice for people to come to, and then it's already got mold problems. Weird.
Yeah, the board still doesn't know the cost of repairs or the location of the temporary library, but we'll keep you updated as we get more information. Reporting from Norman Central Library, Kaylee Carnine, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kaylee. The trouble intensifies for an Oklahoma City Thunder player. Tonight we know police in Newport Beach, California say they're investigating Thunder player Josh Giddey after reports on social media that he had sexual relations with an underage girl. The social media posts were showing a man who looks like Giddey with a teenage girl first surfaced Thanksgiving weekend. The Thunder's head coach said he had no comment, but when Giddey took the court last night at the game with Minnesota, fans had something to say about it. And that was the crowd booing Giddey every time he touched the ball during the game. The NBA says it's also looking into the claims about Giddey.
In Oklahoma, Governor Kevin Stitt says no decision has been made when it comes to sparing the life of death row inmate. Philip Hancock was convicted of a double murder in 2001. Attorneys argue he acted in self-defense. Earlier this month, the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board recommended clemency for Hancock. But Governor Kevin Stitt has the final decision whether to spare Hancock's life. Barring any last-minute action from the governor, Hancock will be executed at 10 tomorrow morning.
And we'll be sure to keep an eye out on that story. And now we turn an eye to this great fall weather we've been having.
Yeah, it's been so nice, but in Oklahoma, everyone knows it's never going to last. So let's get over to OU Nightly meteorologist Christine Gormley. Christine, we could be in for a change, right?
That's right, we can be in for a change tomorrow, but right now enjoy those temperatures. It's 63 degrees in Norman right now, 63 in Oklahoma City, and 60s all across the board with 50s up in Guymon. Those winds are kicking up from the south about 15 miles per hour right now in Norman, so if you're heading outside this evening, it's going to be pretty breezy right now and into this afternoon. So cold temperatures are on the way, rain is on the way for tomorrow, and I'll have your weekend forecast here in just a minute.
Thanks, Christine. And the hostage exchange continues between Israel and Hamas as the deadline for their ceasefire approaches. Kennedy Patterson has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center.
Israel and Hamas exchanging a sixth round of hostages today. The Israeli military says that Hamas released 10 Israelis and 4 Thai nationals to the Red Cross. According to the Qatari foreign minister, Israel will also release 30 Palestinian prisoners today. This is the second release made during the extension of the ceasefire, which is set to expire early Thursday. NYPD sends a warning to the thousands expected to attend the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting. As protests for the Israel-Hamas war are expected to be at the ceremony, NYPD plans to pull out all stops to keep attendees safe. There is currently no credible threat to the tree lighting ceremony, according to the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau. Former President Jimmy Carter and his family say their final farewells to Rosalind Carter today. The former First Lady was laid to rest in Georgia following a private family service this week. Leaders and friends paid tribute as they reflect on their dedication to the service during her time in the White House and after. And the stores located where George Floyd was killed are suing Minneapolis, accusing the city of neglecting the area and hurting business. Bailey, Snow.
Thanks, Kennedy. And a new animal is on the threat for species list.
Find out what change in the weather is impacting wildlife coming up. And a solar storm is increasing the chances of seeing the northern lights in the U.S. Could anyone in Oklahoma have a chance to see it? Find out when OU Nightly returns. Nearly a dozen people are dead after a severe storm in Ukraine, and more snow is on the way. OU Nightly's Josh Duncan has the details in today's Earth Report.
10 people are dead and nearly 24 people are injured following a severe snowstorm in Ukraine. Officials say thousands of residents are still without power and more winter weather is on the way. They say so far, some regions have seen snow drifts more than 6.5 feet deep. Ukraine's interior minister says more than 1,500 responders are working to rescue people in need. U.S. Fish and Wildlife officials list the North American wolverine as a threatened endangered species. Scientists say climate change is melting the wolverine's snowy mountain habitat. They say adding the wolverines to the list will give the species federal legal protections in order to prevent the population from continuing to decrease. And people living in the northern part of the country could have a higher chance of seeing the northern lights thanks to a strong solar flare. Video captured the moment the solar flare erupted from the sun yesterday, causing temporary radio blackouts in some areas across the globe. Scientists say the best time to view the northern lights will be this Friday. Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Dubai this week for the Global Climate Summit that starts tomorrow. Snow, Bailey.
Thanks, Josh. And I know if I lived up north, I would definitely be on the lookout for those northern lights.
to see those.
I have too. Well, when we return, OU's Pick and Hammer Club held its last sale of the year.
Learn what rocks they were selling today after the break.
And some changes are on the way to the weather ending this week, and we will talk about timing and rain chances coming up after this. Stick with us. Well, right now it is clear outside and we're dry. It looks beautiful out on campus this afternoon. 63 degrees right now is the current temperature. We have that southeast wind about 15 miles per hour. It's a little gusty this afternoon. Temperatures across the region are in the 60s, 64 in Dallas, 60s in Little Rock, and it's clear and dry all across the region, and that is about to change going into your Thursday. But for this evening, we're going to be in the 50s all night, partly cloudy this evening. Will be mostly sunny, but there will be some clouds out there this evening, and those winds will be about 10 to 15 miles per hour as we go throughout the evening. Lows are going to be in the 40s, 49 for Norman, 32 up in Guyman, 50s down in Ardmore, and we'll have those clouds roll in tonight and into tomorrow. There will be some thunderstorms tomorrow, but northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, 54 degrees for a high tomorrow, 55 for Lawton, 55 for Ardmore, and then tomorrow evening into tomorrow night into Friday morning, things are going to change. We've got temperature-wise, but that rain will come through tomorrow afternoon. This is it moving through the southeast and south about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We could get some lightning and thunder, heavy rain, pockets of heavy rain in southeast Oklahoma for tomorrow, but we're not expecting tons of rain here in Norman like they will be down in southeast Oklahoma. But as this front pivots around, we will have that cold air from the north. Winds will shift from the northwest. We'll get that cold air and even snow up in Woodward and up there in the northwest parts of Oklahoma. It shouldn't stick around too long because temperatures at the surface are not that cold, and temperatures aloft will only be that cold for a little bit of time. So we're not looking at widespread snowfall by any means, but here are future precip values: 0.23, 0.2 of an inch here in Norman, and we'll have more of that around the area in Oklahoma for tomorrow. 100% chance of rain for tomorrow afternoon. We're in the 40% chance of rain tomorrow morning, and then we're going to clear up for the weekend. 49 degrees on Friday. We will see those clouds start to move out of the way. For the weekend, 62 on Saturday, 60 on Sunday, and then 50s next week.
Man, can you believe this weekend is going to start December already?
I know, that is crazy to me. I feel like we just started the year.
I know, and it's already going to be 2024. Like, it is going to be the kickoff of the holiday season this weekend.
Yes. I know. And we're going to be in the 50s and 60s this weekend. So
I'm going to have to start buying my Christmas gifts, my white elephant gifts.
Oh yeah.
I got to go shopping. But at least the weather will be nice for it.
Yes. So excited for all that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Christine. And things are getting a little rocky over at Sarkey's today. OU's Pick and Hammer Club held their final rock sale of the year. With prices ranging from $3 to $30, you can find rocks, crystals, and minerals of all shapes and sizes from various parts of Oklahoma. The Pick and Hammer Club works to teach others about geology and encourages everyone to check out their program.
If you think, crystals are pretty, fossils are cool, you don't have to be a geology major to think any of that. So we're happy to have anyone come on down and grab whatever they think looks cool, because, that's really what geology is.
And if you didn't get a chance to swing by the sale today, be on the lookout for their next one in the spring. And the 25th ranked men's basketball team hits the court tomorrow in Norman, but not at the LNC.
OU Nightly's Blake Mullen has more on OU basketball's special night.
Yeah, that's right. The regular season might be over, but OU football continues to dominate. The Sooners offense might be seeing double next season. I will have the details coming up next in sports. Hello, I'm Blake Mullen, and it's time for sports. It only took the Sooners 2 days to find their next offensive coordinator, or should I say coordinators. The team announced today that former Sooners players Seth Littrell and Joe John Finley will now take on the roles as co-offensive coordinators. Littrell was a running back on the 2000 national championship team, and the Muskogee native was promoted from an analyst to quarterbacks coach and co-offensive coordinator. As for Finley, the former OU turned NFL tight end, will end up as the tight ends coach as well as co-OC. Big 12 honors were announced today, and 6 Sooners earned all Big 12 status. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel was unanimously selected with the first team defensive backs Billy Bowman and linebacker Danny Stutzman, and wide receiver. Also given team honors was lineman Ethan Downs and Andrew Rame earned second team status. Former Sooner and Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler declared for the 2024 NFL Draft on his social media accounts today. The redshirt senior finishes his career at OU in South Carolina with over 10,000 passing yards and 93 total touchdowns. The Soaring Sooners men's basketball team hosts Arkansas Pine Bluff tomorrow, but this matchup is special. The game tomorrow night for the Sooners is at the McCaslin Fieldhouse, and it's their first game there in over a decade.
The atmosphere there. I'm a historian. I love history paving the way for the future. And I came here to a volleyball game my first year here, and to see Alvin Adams, Gar Hurd, guys, legends that played here. And I just started visualizing like what would it look like with this vertical arena. I've been everywhere trying to get the students to have such an impact, and so I just thought it'd be cool for the students to see like how loud it can get right on top of the floor.
I think everything's just like a lot closer. Everybody's on top of each other. So like I feel like it's a lot closer environment. People feel like they're a part of the team in the action. I'm used to the smaller gyms. I haven't really played at a big school like this, but it feels good to go back to a little smaller gym and get the crowd into it.
Sooner volleyball standout Alexis Shelton was named to the All-Big 12 second team after a season where she accounted for a career-high 30 kills in one match and 400 total kills on the season. Shelton also finished the year with 97 digs and 55 blocks. With the Thunder missing the NBA in-season tournament, they added 2 games to their regular season schedule. They now will square off with the Rockets and the Warriors on December 6th and 8th. Snow, Bailey.
Thank you. And today is Spotify users' favorite day of the year, Spotify Wrap Day.
And one artist we know all too well took over the charts this year. We'll tell you more after the break.
I'm Savannah Simmons at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says they are looking into a deadly double shooting in Granite. The Bureau says Granite police found 1 male and 1 female with gunshot wounds inside of a home yesterday morning. They were taken to the hospital, but later died to their injuries. Investigators say there are no suspects at large at this time. Bailey, Snow, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that update, Savannah. And today is Spotify released their 2023 Spotify Wrap to their users. And long story short, there was no glitch in the system, with Taylor Swift being the man, as she's Spotify's Global Artist of 2023 with more than 26 billion streams since January.
Wow, she has definitely taken over. The Wrap breaks down users' top artists, albums, songs, and podcasts. And for the first time, users are matched with a city that shares similar music taste. I definitely contributed to her Global Artist of the Year because she was my #1 artist this year.
Me too. I was in her top 1%.
So I was only in the 2%.
I guess I'm just a better Swiftie than you. What can I say?
Wow.
I mean, it's no surprise she's that good. I mean, her Eras tour has just taken off, and she's got the movie now. And
I saw the movie as well. So
yeah, I know she's been doing great this year.
Totally.
And while the weather's been nice this week, but Christine mentioned earlier that we will need our umbrellas tomorrow.
Christine, when should we expect this rain to come?
Yeah, tomorrow we're expecting rain as early as 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you are in southeastern Oklahoma, around 7 or 8. But here in Norman, around 1, 2 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon, it's going to start out really light, and then it's going to get a little heavier throughout the afternoon. But for the weekend, we're looking dry, and much colder on Friday, but then we're looking warmer on Saturday and Sunday, 62 degrees on Saturday, 60 on Sunday, some clouds on Saturday, and then Sunday we're looking mostly sunny, 54 degrees for tomorrow though, 49 on Friday, the 50s next week.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Snowforth.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. Be sure to watch OU Nightly weekdays live at 4:30.
Good night.